Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Um, I wasn't going to make a video today, but I have a terrible, horrible tendency of procrastinating when it comes to making videos, and then I end up just never making them. But I decided that I wanted to sit down and talk about this because it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. And that basically is orgasming after having a bilateral orchiectomy, or how you experience orgasms after surgery. So, before I jump into this video, it's important to note that the opinions that I'm sharing are only my own opinions based off my own life experiences. In no way am I speaking for anybody else, but I'm rather trying to tell my story in the hopes that anyone who is trans, who is thinking about surgeries, who is thinking specifically about this surgery, might have some understanding of what could happen. I also really wanted to reach another part of my audience, which is trans attracted men. I've noticed, just from my experience dating, that you'll speak to a lot of trans attracted guys who seem to be very concerned about whether or not your member still works. Because let's be honest, hormone replacement therapy, surgeries, and all of these things can definitely affect your libido. Now, when I had the surgery, when I had the surgery in the year 2017, so surgery being bilateral orchiectomy, testicles, they cut the testicles off. When I had that surgery, I honestly, and not to say that I'm not a sexual person, but I wanted to transition so much that whether or not I enjoyed sex after transitioning, it was not my biggest concern. My biggest concern was feeling comfortable in my body. My biggest concern was helping my body align to what I wanted it to be. So, if you had to ask me 7 years ago, will you regret the surgery, or what if you can't have orgasms? Aren't you gonna regret that? I would have said no. I would have been like, listen, orgasming is fun, sex is fun, but my main priority at that point was just to have my surgery just so I could actualize. So, imagine my surprise. Imagine my surprise after I get cut up like, a turkey on Thanksgiving, and I no longer have the testicles, and I'm laid up in bed, and I wake up, and Penelope decides to wake up with me. So, what I mean by that is, I think it was about 2 or 3 days after the surgery. I'm in bed, I'm waking up, and I have an erection. And I remember not understanding why I had an erection, because from what I read, from what I understood, I thought the surgery would leave me impotent. Now, you would have thought that finding out that I could still have erections and get hard and all of that would have been like a relief. It would have been like, oh, at least I don't have to give that up. I can still, I can still transition and still keep that part of my experience. No, that's not what I was thinking. I was freaked out because I had made peace with the fact that I would never get hard again. Now, as the the weeks turned into months, which turned into years, and I had completely healed. And it didn't take that long for me to heal, if I had to be honest. I was at work within a month after my surgery. But I noticed quite quickly how my sexual drive had, it was still pretty much the same. But there were some slight differences which slowly became more pronounced as the years went on. So, me before surgery, when I would have an orgasm, and this is part of the video that's about to get graphic, so if you don't want to hear anything graphic, this is where you should stop. So before I had the surgery, obviously when you climax, you shoot and it's immediate and you feel like all of this energy like leave your body and you're like lying there half wanting to fall asleep. But it's over. It's very quick, it's instantaneous, and it knocks you out. Now, that had been my experience before surgery, but after surgery, I started noticing that my orgasms seemed to linger. So, the best the best way that I can explain it here is if I stood up. So if I stand up like this, right? So, y'all can see me. Y'all can't see my head. Now, this part of my body would be where Penelope is. And this, before surgery, this is where I would feel climaxing. But after surgery, it was almost as though the orgasm starts from your feet, girl, and goes all the way up into your thighs, into your stomach. It was so crazy because what you have to understand is I was on hormone replacement therapy and my boobs were starting to grow and I was essentially almost going through what a biological woman would have gone through in puberty. So I was having a lot of those effects. But I was already like an adult. So it was a very, very, very strange time and a really fun time, to be honest, because I basically had to learn how to come again in this new body, or I basically had to learn how to orgasm in a very, very different way and be comfortable with that. So, um, before when I stood up, what I was trying to explain is that before I had surgery, it was almost as though my main pressure point was around here. It was around, where my penis is. But after surgery, after my bilateral orchiectomy, once I start like orgasming, it's not, once I start to have an orgasm or once I start to have a climax, I don't just feel it on my phallus. I feel it within my thighs, right down to my toes. It's a sensation in my stomach, in my nipples, and there's this part that's just above your butthole and where your testicles, where my testicles used to be. Girl, after surgery, once anyone that I was with would start like stimulating that like in a circular motion. Oh my gosh, like my left leg would start shaking. I was like I was ready to go. Now, the first year after surgery, I was obviously very happy to find out that, oh wow, I can still have orgasms. And not only do I still have orgasms, but they actually do feel better. They feel better because it's almost as though more of your body is involved. It's not just that one part of your body. So I was really, really happy about that, but I still had this belief that because I was a trans woman and because I was the feminine partner in the relationship and in any type of partnership, I was the one who was supposed to be getting penetrated. I was the one who was supposed to be getting fucked. I was the one who was supposed to be, bending it over. And as much as I tried to enjoy bottoming, as much as I try to make myself comfortable and explore different positions. It just was never for me. And it was crazy because I think I tried bottoming for about a year and a half. After my surgery, I would say that I was exclusively a bottom until I eventually just gave up on it and just resigned and decided, I'm not going to I'm not going to have sex. It was only, what are you looking for? It was only when I started experimenting with something that was comfortable. Can I have one of those? It's only when I started experimenting with somebody, yeah, Dankeschön. When I started experimenting with somebody that was comfortable with me being the more active partner, that I could really explore that part of my sexuality, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I did, and I already have all of it. Thank you. Thank you, though. I'm so glad that I explored that part of my sexuality, because if I had listened to other people's opinions of how I should express myself sexually, if I had listened to my own insecurities and my own fears, if I had listened to my own limiting beliefs, I would have never realized, I really wouldn't have realized how much beauty and how much fun there is in embracing a part of your body that you were always taught to shame. I love the fact that I can still orgasm. And if you're going to have a bilateral orchiectomy, or you are considering it, know that it is still possible to orgasm. Know that it is, not only is it still possible, girl, your leg is going to shake in ways that you never thought it would. And just besides the physical sensation, there's a psychological component. What do you want?
Ashtray.
Oh,
Thanks.
sorry.
Interrupting.
No worries. There's a psychological component that I found was so big for me. And that is, once you're comfortable with your body, once your body starts looking the way that you want it to, and you feel like you're the person that you've always been on the inside, you actually feel more comfortable being in a sexual space, and you can explore yourself and explore parts of your body with your partner a lot better. All right, so I'm not sure if any of that made sense. I'm not sure if I was able to explain how awesome orgasming has been since I've had my bilateral orchiectomy. But believe me when I say this, that transitioning is an adventure. It's a journey, and it's a journey in which you are discovering yourself. You're discovering your body again, and you're claiming it and taking ownership of it. So I want you, as you continue on in your transition, to do so without any fear, without any shame, and without any limiting beliefs that hold you to a life that you no longer wanted. It's time for all of us to move forward in our transitions and to finally be happy. That's the only thing I want for all of us. I want us to be happy in love. I want us to be happy in relationships and friendships. And yeah, I want us all to have bomb-ass sex that is consensual. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I'm going to stop this video here. Bye.